L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology, A History of Man, presents itself as a scientific and factual account of human history, but it is nothing more than a bizarre mix of pseudoscience, mythology, and science fiction designed to reinforce belief in Scientology's auditing process. The book's central premise, that traumatic memories called engrams are stored in the mind across multiple lifetimes and continue to influence present-day behavior, is completely unsubstantiated. Modern neuroscience has thoroughly debunked the idea that memory functions as a permanent recording system, let alone that memories from supposed past lives could persist in any way. The whole track recollections that Hubbard describes are the result of suggestion, imagination, and the effects of repetitive questioning during auditing, which is structured in a way that encourages confabulation, false memories created under social and psychological pressure. One of the most absurd claims in the book is that an ancient engram, called Facsimile 1, is stored in the pineal gland, which Hubbard describes as a kind of recording device for past traumas. This is a complete misrepresentation of biology. The pineal gland regulates sleep through melatonin production. It has no role in memory storage. Hubbard's assertion appears to be influenced more by mystical and esoteric traditions that describe the pineal gland as a third eye than by any actual scientific research. By claiming that auditing can remove Facsimile 1, Hubbard adds another layer of control over Scientologists, making them believe that their deepest problems stem from an ancient, invisible trauma that only Scientology can fix. The book also rejects established evolutionary science in favor of Hubbard's alternative history of human development, in which thetans supposedly pass through numerous non-human forms, including clams, birds, and gorillas, each leaving behind engrams that continue to shape modern behavior. For example, he argues that anxiety related to jaw tension or choking originates from a past life as a clam struggling to stay closed. This is a cartoonish distortion of how evolution and psychology actually work. Unlike the scientific theory of evolution, which is supported by fossil evidence, genetics, and rigorous research, Hubbard's version of human history is entirely based on unverifiable past life recollections produced during auditing. The structure of these sessions makes it almost inevitable that a person will recall the types of incidents Hubbard describes because they are expected to do so. Perhaps the most ridiculous and transparently fabricated claim in A History of Man is the existence of whole-track implants, such as the gorilla goals, in which a gorilla supposedly controlled thetans by forcing them to listen to recordings on a phonograph. This concept is pure science fiction, bearing a striking resemblance to the kind of pulp stories Hubbard wrote before launching Scientology. The idea that an ancient implant involves a phonograph, a device invented in the 19th century, is an obvious anachronism that highlights the made-up nature of these so-called incidents. The consistency of these stories across Scientologists is not proof of their reality. Rather, it is a reflection of how auditing leads individuals to conform to the expected narratives dictated by Hubbard. Beyond being unscientific, the ideas in A History of Man are psychologically dangerous. Auditing, which is used to uncover these supposed past life traumas, conditions the brain through a combination of repetition, suggestion, and the E-meter's operant conditioning effects. This leads individuals to develop false memories, reinforcing their belief in the book's claims. More disturbingly, it fosters dissociation from reality, as individuals become convinced that their present struggles are caused by events that never actually happened. This manufactured dependency on Scientology for handling these traumas strengthens the organization's control over its members. Once a person accepts that their problems stem from a time when they were a prehistoric clam or a cosmic slave subjected to a gorilla's mind control phonograph, they are far more likely to accept increasingly extreme ideas and to continue paying for auditing to resolve these supposed ancient issues. Ultimately, A History of Man is not a historical record, nor is it a legitimate psychological or scientific study. Instead, it serves as a tool for indoctrination, reinforcing Scientology's auditing process and fostering psychological dependence on the organization. By pushing followers to accept bizarre past life narratives, Hubbard strengthens their commitment to his belief system, making them less likely to question its validity. The book is not just absurd and baseless. It is a clear example of how Hubbard used pseudoscience and mind control to create a religion built on authority and financial exploitation.